Hello and welcome. So for today's video, I wanted to do something that I've seen floating around the internet in various corners, artist corners that is, and I'm gonna do a Meet the Artist tag, as you can probably tell by the title of this video right now. But I figured this would be a fun thing to do to sort of like track my progress as an artist and just to see like different, if my likes and my dislikes change or something like that. So without further ado, let's get into the video, shall we? At first, I was just trying to get a feel for the layout of this illustration. I knew I wanted to include Copper, my cat, and I also knew that I didn't want to do a pose that I've drawn before. I knew I needed an area for likes and dislikes, and somewhere to put the What's in My Bag section. Fun fact, the references that I'm using right here are actually screenshots from my last video. I don't really take many selfies, so I had to turn to my YouTube channel for references. Such is life. This pose in particular was a huge struggle for me. Don't be fooled by the sped up editing magic. I definitely had a lot of trouble, but it's there, it exists, that's it. I originally kind of wanted to go for a more chibi vibe, which is why the head is so big here. I did end up shrinking it a little bit, but I kind of like characters where the head is a bit bigger than it should be. Kind of like so you can see the facial expressions more, though the facial expressions I drew on me are a bit small, which you will see later. It just sort of gives it a more cartoony vibe to it, which I really enjoy. This was about when I was starting to figure out what colors I wanted to use. I was originally going to go for a sort of lineless look, but I ended up liking how the darker line art looked on the piece, so I kept it. I also had to decide if I wanted to include all of like the crisscrossed bridge beams, but if I did include them, they'd essentially cover up a good portion of the pose that I was trying to draw, so I decided to just include the top beam that I was leaning on, just so that that would make sense with the pose, and just leave out the rest of the cross beams there. I also struggled a bit with the hair shape / color. I made an effort to capture the sheer, coarse waviness that is my hair. My hair also has a lot of different like hues in it. It's not just one homogeneous brown color or thickness for that matter. I found hairs that are super coarse and thick. I have ones that are light and almost like a strawberry blonde color, especially in the summer. I've also found very dark brown strands in my hair. My hair is just like a kerfuffle of different varying strand thickness and color, and I don't know. I have natural highlights, and that's just kind of how my hair is. Which can be quite the obstacle to convey in a 2D drawing format. I also wanted to make sure that I included the different curves that I have. I'm definitely an advocate for drawing people with more realistic body proportions. Not that there's anything necessarily wrong with drawing characters with tiny waistlines or extreme muscular definition, but I think when it's the majority of what you see, it can bring out a not entirely healthy comparison mindset, at least for me personally. So I really enjoy when illustrations of people do look a bit more realistic proportionally. That being said, I do enjoy many cartoons and animes where body proportions are thrown completely out the window, but since I was trying to draw me, I made an effort to not just automatically try to slimify myself like I am often inclined to do. On a completely different note, I don't know why, but for some reason I was actually super nervous to record myself drawing this. Technically, it was my first time actually just sitting down and filming myself drawing, digitally or otherwise. Twitch does not count. I don't know, maybe it's because I don't really draw myself or people for that matter that often. Usually I like to draw cute animals, objects, or like scenery or buildings or something. Like more background type stuff. I'm just not the biggest fan of drawing people in general. They have so many weird shapes and lines that form a person, and I mean, I guess animals and scenery have weird shapes too, but I think I'm just more interested in those things versus people. People don't tend to interest me, at least in terms of drawing them, but since this is a Meet the Artist thing, I needed to draw some sort of reference of my face, so I did. I think one of my favorite parts of this was coloring in the shoes. It was super fun to draw all the little lines haphazardly, and I think it really added some small detail to the shoes instead of just being like a pair of shoes. And they are based off of the ones that are in the picture, though they don't really come through that well. You know, in the future, I kind of want to do maybe like a shoe study or like a clothing study. I think that would be a fun thing to do. Maybe I'll make a video out of it and film it, but I don't know. We'll see. But I wanna get some more shoe drawings in my life, if that makes sense. I don't know. Sounds like fun. Now we're on to the cat portion of this, which is obviously what you're all here for. It took me forever and a day to find a good reference picture of Copper just sitting in an upright pose, so I decided to use this reference for him instead of him just sort of like all curled up and just looking adorable, and he looks so cute and comfy, and he's just curled up in a little ball, and like his little paw is like over his face, and he's just so cute. I also decided to change the boxes that he was sort of sitting on into like a chair for him to like nap into, to include like his likes and his dislikes. And for my boxes, or lack of boxes, I kind of wanted more of a focus to be on like the stuff that was in my bag. So I made the bag portion bigger and just sort of slapped my dislikes and my likes above it. I just wanted to provide some context for some of my likes and dislikes that I put on here. First up is pasta, which I love, probably too much. I am a pasta chef extraordinaire, sort of. You name the type of pasta and I will make it, along with my own super secret sauce recipe. Cats, I feel like that's self-explanatory. D&D. I've only been playing D&D, Dungeons & Dragons, for about a year, but it's such a fun storytelling game experience to play with friends, and I think it's helped me develop the storytelling abilities that have been bestowed upon me by my mom, so that's just something that is near and dear to my heart, and is also a lot of fun to do. Music, I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. Most people like music a lot. I don't really have a particular genre that I really like. Mostly I gravitate towards different songs and things. But yeah, music is a fun part of my life as well. And then memes. I mean, who doesn't like a good meme? Yarn. Since I had Luminate, I thought I would just include that as well, since I have a yarn addiction. It's a problem, but it looks pretty on a shelf when you have all the colors of the rainbow just hanging out. And then comics and anime. I can't think of any specific comics that I'm reading right now. Mostly I read like webtoon stuff, which is usually pretty funny. But for animes that I'm currently watching include My Hero Academia. I friggin' love All Might and Deku. And most of the characters really, I think a lot of them are really well done. And you get to learn about a lot of different characters and what their abilities are, and I think it's really fun. And I also watch Haiku, which is the volleyball anime, Chihaya Furu, which is the card anime? Poem card anime? I don't know. And my friends and I are kind of watching One Piece right now. We kind of stopped for a little bit but we'll probably, we'll finish it eventually. There's only, hundreds and hundreds of episodes. I've also watched Free, Fairy Tail, Psyche K, Attack on Titan, some of the original Naruto series, Death Note, and more that I don't really remember right now, but I love me a good anime. What can I say? And for dislikes, I think the only one I really need to explain is fiber. I absolutely hate fiber. The food, not the crafting supplies. It is the bane of my existence. This probably makes no sense to most people, but basically I have this thing where I'm on like a low fiber diet. It's one of the reasons I was in and out of the hospital for a few years. Don't want to go into too much detail right now. Maybe someday I'll make a video talking about my experiences, but for now, you just gotta know that I hate fiber. Specifically, like seeds and nuts and peelings. But peanut butter is fine. I feel like the rest of my dislikes are pretty self-explanatory, but I just felt the need to explain my pure hatred of fiber. Now for onto what's in my bag. I feel like a lot of this makes sense, probably. And I got my phone, which is friggin' like 5 years old. I need an update. I got my laptop, which is also 5 years old. Actually, it's older than 5 years. Oh my god. It's hanging on for dear life. I don't know how I'm even able to edit these videos on it, honestly. But it's still kicking somehow. And then I have my tablet, which is like the new Samsung Galaxy Tab S7 Plus, and it's amazing, and I love it so much, and it allows me to use like apps to draw, and I love it. It's what I used for this lovely illustration, Meet the Artist illustration. So I love my tablet so much. Oh my gosh, I spent so many years not having a decent tablet, and I don't know, I love it. And then my water bottle, which is has a picture of Hank on it from Finding Dory. And then a box of cereal, which is always off-brand Honey Nut Cheerios, because I'm just, constantly snacking. Or, peanut butter. I always like to bring food to places, especially if I'm not sure what, like, the buffet style will be like, before I'll be able to eat the food. So I just bring a box of cereal, peanut butter, or, just some creamy chicken ramen. If you haven't tried creamy chicken ramen, I highly recommend it, even if you don't like packaged ramen. I don't know how they do it, but somehow they've managed to add, like, this delicious, like, creamy quality to the food packet, and it tastes almost like a nice, creamy chicken soup. I don't know. It's so good. 10 out of 10, would recommend. Yes. Overall, for not being too confident in my people drawing skills, I kind of like how it turned out. And yeah, it's a great, I guess, baseline moving forward, just to see as my art grows and whatnot, and hopefully I grow as a person. That's always a great thing to do. I do want to make this video like a yearly thing to see maybe in a year from now how my dislikes and likes change, as well as my art style. Will I hate pasta in a year? Never. Will I like fiber? Probably not. But we shall see in the future what it may hold as it comes about, as it were. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. I hope it was a pleasurable experience. I'm trying my best at this whole YouTube thing, and we'll see where it goes. If you're interested, I do have some links down in the description for various like social media. Like I have a Skillshare stuff too that teaches you loom knitting stuff. I do have more plans for that in the future, as well as Redbubble's shop and just other things that you might want to check out. The Linktree link is probably just going to be the most current things that I'm up to. So yeah, I love you guys so much, and I will see you later. Bye. Clap. Clap. Clap your hands. Yeah. Hello and welcome. Hello. Overall, for not being terribly confident in my people skills, I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. But yeah. Hello and welcome once again. And yeah. Oh god, I need to probably redo all of that.